coming down over here. Now, the issue over here is that there's in the parliament, your party raises a very important concern, and that's about the corporate greed. This is a perfect example of corporate greed. Colleges and institutions, educational institutions in Canada, the ones that are DLI. Now, there's another issue that's separate, but the issue over here is that they hire consultants who are not licensed to practice in IRCC. They cannot submit the immigration applications in the IRCC, but the colleges have hired them directly. Now, if an investigation happens in this regard, this is going to be a billion-dollar industry that's going to be targeted. It's going to be the big fishes that are going to be targeted. That's why it's easy to make these kids scapegoats. And that's exactly what's happening. If that happens, would you support that investigation?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I didn't realize that Dan had come over, and this is another conservative member of Parliament, Dan Muse, who's been fighting for the students as well. And Bob Desange has been here every day fighting for the students, a former Conservative candidate, a great future voice for our Conservative Party as well. Thank you very much, Babji. Thank you. Thank you. Please.
Thank you so much for coming here. My name is Lovepreet. I'm one of the victims here. So my deportation day was on 13. Thank you so much for raising this issue in the parliament, so that my deportation got postponed for now. But the question is, our demands was from day one. It was clear. The first is to give the stay on the deportation, and the second is to waive the inadmissibility, which is caused by the misrepresentation. And the third one is to give us a proper pathway so we can apply for the permanent residency. So here is the question, because it will take time to do the investigation, right? So when this investigation is going on, the students needs to take care of their survival. Will you support to give a work permit to the students until this investigation got finished?
Yes.
So much.
Well, that's the way the leaders should say yes.
Why wouldn't we? We need workers.
That's the way he should say yes.
Workers.
This is the way he's asking Justin Trudeau to give. You know, if Justin Trudeau knows the answer, he should give like yes and no. So this is a leader who knows how to say. So, leader, we got a question. The last third question for you. What solutions does the opposition propose to fix the completely broken the international recruitment system that exploits the international students?
When they come to power.
Thank you. So first of all they need in this particular case, all they needed to do was verify the letters at the beginning. Immigration Canada just needed to pick up the letter, say this is a letter that's from the XYZ educational institution. Let's check if the XYZ institution is real. And if it is, let's call them and confirm that they wrote this letter. And if they didn't, you contact the student applicant and say, listen, you have a fraudulent letter. You need to get a new letter. You need to get a real letter. And by the way, fire your consultant who wrote you this letter. If they had done that at the front end 4 years ago, we would not have been in this trouble. This is a very simple upfront verification that could have saved all this trouble from the very beginning. But because the government screwed up, now they're blaming the students. This government accepted the letters, right? It was their decision. So, secondly, we need to crack down with tougher laws that punish those who crooked immigration and international student consultants, the consultants who do these scams. And if those scam artists are in other countries, well, we can ensure that anyone who knowingly deals with them can be prosecuted here in Canada. And that's a way we can crack down on the corruption to protect against the exploitation of the students. Thank you.
Unfortunately, these are the educational institutions. How more the educational institutions can be educated on the factor that they should not be dealing with people who are not licensed under the Act of Parliament passed by House of Commons, IRPA and IRPA.
Absolutely. The educational institution should only be using and working with consultants that have licenses recognized by the government. That would have rooted out this problem. Thank you.